All right, welcome back to Dream Talk. I'm your host, Brian Ladd. Today is Sunday, March 25th, 2010, 8:07 p.m. Tonight we have one case to discuss, and that is case number 841, Gabriel Scott Johnson. We have some new updates that we want to make you guys aware of and what we've been working on for the past couple of weeks. A lot of what we're saying tonight has come from outside sources, but we really can't discuss too much as far as that goes. But we do have a lot of information that we've been going over. We have a few guests on tonight that are willing to discuss some of the information we've been talking about. That said, I have Jody Lee with me, and I have Susan, and I have Gail St. John. Welcome, guys.
Hi, Brian.
Hi, Susan. Welcome, Jody, and welcome, Gail.
Hi.
How's everybody doing tonight?
I'm doing well.
Okay, that's good, Gail. Glad to have you with us tonight,
Great.
Jody. If there's any delays, it's not my fault. Because I'm hearing just a little bit of delay, but I guess that's no big deal. Anyways, Jody, I know you've been working on this case nonstop. Susan, I know you have too. Just a rough estimate, how many hours a day do you think you guys have been putting into this case?
Oh, goodness gracious. Some days and nights I only sleep 6 hours.
Okay, 6 hours a day.
And the rest of the time, any moment that I have to spare, even moments that I don't have to spare,
okay.
I've been trying to help in each and every way that I can.
Okay, Susan, I know you're doing a lot of work too, and you're also working in that other room that you'd set up. So how many hours a day do you think you've spent?
Probably 10 to 12.
A day?
A day.
Oh my goodness! Well, I'd like to say myself maybe 2 or 3 hours. My goodness! Well, you guys are doing some outstanding work, and there's a lot of information that we wanted to share. So we're going to get started, but real quick, I want to bring up some topics that we are going to discuss. Now, again, this is just purely speculation. We have been talking with a lot of people in this case, and some of these people will be able to talk after certain events happen. But some of the topics that we're going to be discussing are disposable cell phones. We're going to mention about did Gabriel Johnson have a price tag on him when he was first born, or possibly before he was born. Some Russian aliases that may be out there. We discussed the new PI that's on the case. Apparently that PI is still on the case. We do know that J.J. Arms and his team have left the case. We're going to bring that up. We're going to talk about Elizabeth Johnson possibly selling her eggs, possibly in Boston. I'm not exactly sure on that one. And if she did, how much money she got for them, and did she get the full amount? We want to mention the GPS that was apparently stolen. We're going to talk about that a little bit. Apparently there was some blood on the scene. We want to ask just a few questions on that blood, if it really was there. Again, we're going to talk about J.J. Arms, what he's been doing. Paternity test. So far we know there hasn't been a paternity test as far as we know. There may have been something in the past week, but we don't really know yet. And we went over a lot of court documents. We have posted all the court documents that we have. We're going over to kind of give a timeline of what possibly has been going on. We're going to mention the trailer. Elizabeth Johnson did apparently damage the trailer. There's some issues with that we wanted to discuss. We also want to bring up Gary Hahn. We're not saying Gary Hahn is the father, but we do paternity test. Wow, a paternity test should be in order. And we've looked at a lot of photographs and stuff like that seem to confirm that. I mean, I would definitely take a paternity test. According to Gary Hahn, he is not married. We confirmed that off a Facebook page. Remember that might not be accurate. And I believe he flew back to the United States. Go ahead.
I just got from a regular, real good source.
Okay.
In my inbox. No, EJ never consented to a paternity test. There was no paternity test done between her and Logan.
That's right.
She simply agreed.
But we're talking about Gary Hahn.
The day before she took off with him.
Yeah, okay, but Gary Hahn flew back, and we're not exactly sure why he flew back. I think it's just on regular leave. I believe he's in the Marines. I'm not sure if he still is or not. Okay, but thank you for that one.
Yeah, Hamilton.
Okay, and then the discussion as far as Gary Hahn and Elizabeth Johnson. Apparently they went to high school together. Were they romantically involved or whatever? And we bring all this up because everything. The more information we get on this case, the more we learn and the more we can help find Gabriel. And that is our only goal, is to find Gabriel. if, like I said, everything we're putting out there is pure speculation and theory, but we're trying to get this information out so we can find Gabriel. And if that offends somebody, please turn the show off now. Okay, that said, Jody. By the way, we have we have Gail St. John with us tonight, too. She's worked on this case. She believes Gabriel's alive, but there might be some issues with that. She's going to tell us what she's gotten in the past psychically, and then if we're trying to get her, if she can get anything. I know she has a migraine tonight, but if she can get anything other that can help us find Gabriel, we would really appreciate that. So thank you for being here too, Gail.
You're welcome, Brian.
Okay. So let's get started. J.J. Arms. Now, Jody Lee, I believe you were the first person to contact J.J. Arms to get him involved in the case. Now, there's been a lot of speculation out there.
Sir.
A lot of speculation as far as J.J. Arms wanting to get involved in a high-profile case and work on it. Now, from what I know, I don't believe this is a high-profile case yet, not compared to a lot of the other cases that I've seen. And I do know that J.J. Arms is a professional.
Not at all.
And he's been doing this for a long time. Please explain to everybody how you contacted, how you met, and how you actually got him there. And I know there was a lot of resistance from J.J. Arms because of a few things, but go ahead, please, to tell us the story.
Actually, me and many of the Facebook women, as you knew, did prayer hour and things within the group. I've always been a spiritual at heart person and believe in many things. Some have psychics, some have dreams, some have, I believe in the angel version of it. When I came up from the prayer, I had asked God at that point to please not allow Gabriel to have to grow up and live in the situation that I went through with me being a child that was stripped from my father, and to please show me the way in the light for us to reunite this child with his father. As I got up, J.J. Arms' fan page was literally on my Facebook. Me, as you can see, anybody can see plainly, it's nothing to elaborate on the fan page. I had no idea who the man was. In fact, I think I got up and went and switched laundry and did some normal things, came back and thought, well, he's in Texas. I'm going to call just out of curiosity. Me and all the women were trying to do fundraisers and get things like that set up and see maybe possibly he won't be real expensive and he can kind of help a little bit, even if for a day, to look over something to help Logan locate Gabriel. With that being said, I contacted him, asked him if he was aware of the case. He said, no, he wasn't. Could I please elaborate a little bit on what it was? I explained to him that there's a missing child, and his name is Gabriel Johnson, and he's 8 months old, and their mother saying she did this, then recanting the story and saying she gave him up for adoption. And there's just a whole lot of what ifs and who knows and what's in this and things. I continued to speak with him for, I'd say a good amount of time, and he had asked me if I knew the family, which I stated, no, I do not. I just thought I would call before, anything. I was just curious. And he said to please have the father get in touch with him, and if I could, and that he would look into taking the case on. I requested to him at that time, very discreetly, saying, we don't have a lot of money, but maybe we can do something for the fundraisers and stuff to, pay his fees or what have you. I had no idea this man was, the miracle that he was and as big as he was. And so he had clearly said, at that time, no, if I take this on, it will be pro bono. I am sad to say that I take on hundreds and thousands of pro bono cases a year that go unnoticed. And so I said, okay, thank you, sir, for your time. Let me see if I can get a hold of the father and have him call you. At that time, I actually had to contact somebody in Facebook and ask them at the group if they knew how to get a hold of the family. I did that, and that was, then they got a hold of Kelly. I explained to Kelly through the Facebook. I believe she called me right after that and got more clear on it that this man was willing to help. I didn't know him, but that I needed to get his name and phone number to Logan for Logan to call personally to elaborate more on the situation with him. She said she would give Logan the message and stuff. Well, then a few days later, it came up again, and said, does Logan need the phone number or not, or what have you? And she said, yes, he has it. He has your number too. He's going to be contacting you. I then received one evening a phone call from, it was Logan, and he had me on speakerphone. His father and stepmother were both there, and he asked me, did I know this guy? I said, no, I do not. I said, I'm just letting you know that he has offered his services possibly to you, but those are details that you and him would have to work through. If Logan didn't want to call, he didn't have to call. He then said, okay, I will get in touch with them and things, and I said, thank you, and goodbye and stuff. And then, now this was probably about January 19th, and I think this was on a Tuesday, actually, a Monday or Tuesday, and so later during the week, JJ had called me and said, did you ever get a hold of the father, and things like that, I have other cases I'm working on, and I just want to, not take off on something or somewhere and not be accessible to him. I'm just trying to make, I guess he sounded like he was making his planner for his couple days or something.
Okay.
And so he said, I told him that I had gave him the number and that I believed he would still be headed out to Texas. That was the last that I had heard from the news reports and things. Well, then I got a hold of Kelly once again. I said, Logan called him. I said, because, as JJ had said right then and there, every day that he waits is a day that his friends are further away.
Right.
Well, the whole other week passed by, and things kept going on, and so Logan had made contact with JJ, but according to JJ, when Logan made contact, he was going to be there within a day or two. And then a whole week had passed, and he still was not there. So JJ called to see if maybe I had heard something or things had changed or any of that. And I said, not to my knowledge. And so then I got in touch with Kelly again, and she said that he was delayed because the police wanted him to stay in town. And I said, okay, if he could please just give JJ a call, let him know what's going on. I'm just trying to be the person here and get this resolved. And so then next thing you know, he finally did meet up with him on February the 2nd.
February 2nd?
And, yes.
Okay. Now,
and they did an interview thing there, and, as JJ had explained it to me, that Logan was the one that decided there were papers signed. I know that, like this new lawyer said, no papers were signed. I know for a fact that Jake, he didn't know anything about the case at all. And a few other women that literally crashed him on all of and the things that we did to him up to that point. He could learn what was going on really quick and have whatever access necessary, Mm-hmm. I gave him the links to web sleuths and different keys, and, I didn't say this one or that one's better. I said they both contain information that you need to look into and see if you can see something to get you on track. And that was the end of it, but he said right then he didn't do anything other than sign paperwork.
Okay. So was there paperwork signed stating that he was representing the family, or what do you know what?
That he was representing Logan, as JJ has said a few times.
Okay.
Logan is his client, and that is who is his client.
Okay, so I know they had a verbal agreement. I haven't seen anything in writing. I don't really think it makes much difference. All we know is that they wanted JJ Arms. They wanted his help, and I don't know what the reason for this weeks of delays here. That, I mean, you know, everybody knows that, you know, time is very important. I don't get that one, but it's not like J.J. Arms rushed down there to find the baby. He wanted permission, and he wanted Logan's help to do that, and I don't know why it took so long for that to happen. I have no idea. Now, I've personally spoken with J.J. Arms for about a half hour with Tammy Smith, and he is officially off the case. He wanted to let everybody know that. He is off the case, officially off the case, but I can tell you that after speaking with him, and Jody, I know you've talked with him in detail, I don't think this man's going to quit, because the most important thing here is finding the baby. So if somebody's feelings do get hurt, you know, so be it. But I firmly believe that he's going to keep looking for that baby.
I just think he is a very outstanding and respectful man, and he is a man of God, and he is a good, genuine person. And that has led me to wonder, you know, when you have somebody like that to you, I know I haven't spoke to him on details of the situation or the case or any of that matter. If I speak to him now, it is on a personal level, and he is a very remarkable man. He is integrity is fact, everything is fact, and I just do not see that if he has the opportunity before him or at his reach to locate Gabriel, that he would.
Okay, now a few weeks ago, Logan hired an attorney, and this attorney then sent J.J. Arms a letter basically dismissing him from his services. We're all aware of that. Do you want to speculate as to the reason why he would dismiss J.J. Arms? I mean, I saw on the news they said that, well, he wasn't producing anything, and I'm just wondering, well, why would they know if he's producing anything? I mean, everybody is a suspect.
Well, I'm not. Exactly. Everybody is a suspect, and the whole object of private investigator is the key word private.
Right.
It does not mean that you go over every tip, every this, every dot, any of that. Okay? Is the aspect that I gather. When you work underground, especially in an underground thing like that, JJ's retrieved many children from underground adoptions, for one.
Yes, he has, and in Mexico.
I'm not sure he doesn't reveal his source to anybody.
Right, and I'm sure he
and
wouldn't.
That's why that's a success.
This man apparently has been doing this for most of his life. He has a lot of connections in Mexico, and if I were to pick one person that's not law enforcement to locate this child, it would be J.J. Arms, and not the fact that he's semi-famous. The fact is that he's in the area, and he knows Mexico, and in most likelihood the baby might be in Mexico. I mean, so I don't understand why you would dismiss this man after all this work that he's done pro bono. It doesn't really make much sense to me. Now, talking with J.J. Arms...
Me either,
and
another thing is with law enforcement is bound by laws and their own legal things.
Yes.
That they cannot just go and do whatever they want. This is why J.J. said straight from the start, I work on my own rules. In other words, if somebody that is illegal or is doing something illegal is able to retrieve that baby, he will. If he has to literally go in and kidnap that child back, that's what he will do.
You know, whatever it takes to do this, it needs to be done. And the police have to abide by a certain set of guidelines, and so does the government. You see its failure in the Amber Alert system every day. You know, people, good, genuine people that want to help or in power can't issue an Amber Alert because of certain regulations. We all know, and we all know that. So that's red tape. That's an example of that. But J.J. Arms seems...
They can't cross state lines. They can't go international. They can't any of it. Everything takes protocol, red tape, and by then the child's gone many days further.
Okay. So what I was saying, though, is J.J. Arms is probably the best qualified person to have. And from what I know, he wasn't a media, I'm not going to say the word, but he didn't want media attention, at least to me. If he wanted media attention, I think he would have done, several press releases, and I'm here. He acted like a PI should act. That's private. statistically stating.
Exactly.
Statistically stating.
He was in the media twice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guilty of asking him to please, if he got the opportunity, to do it again, and that was because I was trying to raise awareness within the Facebook page and get back in the media after we had the little bout of the MySpace ordeal go down. And I thought, we need to get this up and out into the spotlight so that everybody in this world is seeing real space.
Okay.
You know, that is one of the things that I feel creating awareness is our best factor.
Exactly.
If people don't know and don't see, then we have a problem.
Right. Real quick, so J.J. Arms also, I believe, works with Diamondback Investigations, and unfortunately they had to withdraw from the case as well. Everything that I've heard on them is
J.J. Arms didn't work with them.
He didn't? Because
he was not connected to them at all.
Well, from what I've heard from them is they do pretty good work as well, and maybe they just followed suit as far as what J.J. did. I mean, I don't know, but I did read their statement stating that they were withdrawing from the case as well. Susan, I mean, did you read that, Susan?
Yes, I
okay,
did.
I'm just making sure. I'm just okay. When taking on a private investigator, okay, first of all, statistically stating that when somebody goes missing, the family is always a suspect, no matter what. No matter what you say, no matter what you do, how you look, or how you act, you're still a suspect. And in a lot of cases, it turns out to be a family member. So I don't understand why that Logan thought that he was excused from this statistic. You wouldn't be, and anybody knows that.
Sure.
And then for JJ not getting back with him and keep him updated, well, he's really not supposed to. You continue your fundraiser, continue getting the pictures out there, let the police do their job, and just trust that JJ Arms is doing a lot of work. And from what I know, he was.
Exactly, and I did bring that question up to.
Well, I brought up a lot of questions.
Him a couple of times when it was brought to my attention and said he isn't getting back and what have you, and I think there were wires crossed, in my opinion, with how that message was getting relayed, because whenever I asked him, he had texted Logan the night before or just got off the phone with him.
Okay. He talked with me for
things.
30 minutes, and I asked him a lot of questions. And I am not going to say what he told me, but I don't know how to put it. But what I'm saying is possibly, you know, the investigation may be leading back to somebody that you didn't want to be involved with. There could be a lot of reasons. You know, if you're finding out stuff, you have to investigate everybody. And I'm not just saying to Logan, but I'm saying there's always a possibility that somebody working with this investigation might know about what happened to Logan or to Gabriel and Gabriel's whereabouts. And then to dismiss somebody, maybe if they're looking into something like that, I don't know. It's just a little suspicious to me, because the man's working pro bono, and who cares how long he takes? He was there waiting for you for weeks, okay? And I know he got some type of permission, but he had a lot to say about what's been going on, and I'm sure maybe in time he'll want to go ahead and put that out, but I'm certainly not going to say that. So first of all, we want to thank you for getting J.J. Arms there, and I personally believe, because of my dreams at least,
You're welcome.
He's going to find Gabriel with the help of Logan. Now, I don't know how that's going to work out, but I definitely believe that he's going to find Gabriel with the help of Logan. Now, I do know that a lot of people have been helping him. And real quick, I guess that's all we have on J.J., right, Susan? I was going to go over these lists. Tammy and Jack Smith. We know them very well now. We speak with them every day, several times a day. They are trying everything they can to help find Gabriel, and even with all the bad press that they're receiving, all the hate mail, all the threats, all the boycotts, which are illegal, of their businesses and everything else, they're still staying strong, and they are very Christian people. And I heard them for turning the other cheek and not saying what they really would like to say, And you know, it may sound like I'm defending him, but if I were to find out that Tammy was lying to us or Jack was lying to us, I don't think Jack has anything to do with it, I would be the first one on the phone to the cops, okay? Because anything that we know that might help save Gabriel goes to the cops. Everything that I've seen from them thus far has been trying to find Gabriel. They have done a lot of work. They even called Poly Class Foundation. They were trying to help with, you know, getting the reward up. That's a whole other issue. Even the fact is, the Crime Stoppers page and the FBI page still don't have Gabriel Johnson's picture, and the reason why that picture isn't up there because no one with authority has contacted them to do that. The FBI does give out rewards for missing persons, and there are children listed with rewards up to $75,000. I've seen. I'm sure they're higher. I saw one for $100,000. That is federal money. That could be used to up the reward that they currently have at $5,000 from Crime Stoppers. But as far as we know, there's actually no reward fund from the trust fund, which is really none of my business. But when a lot of people donate whatever to help, you know, to raise the reward, which is probably the most important thing you can do, is raise the reward fund, because there are people out there that are putting a price tag on a missing child, and if they have information that it might not be worth $5,000 to them to turn a friend in or whatever. It's that, I mean, that's a no-brainer. Everybody knows that, and it doesn't seem like anybody's really pushing hard to do any of this, and that's really a shame. And then we talked about this before. It seems like the people that are getting trashed and threatened and everything else are the people that are working the hardest to find Gabriel, and that's to me is really sad. I don't personally. I don't know why, for sure, why JJ quit, but I have a pretty good idea.
In the words of JJ Arms, where there's smoke, there's fire.
True. True. Susan, I know you've been quiet. I know you have that the Facebook page that you run, and there are a lot of questions being asked out there, and it offends a lot of people asking certain questions. But I think it's relevant to find out a little more about Gabriel's family in history, and possibly figure out why this baby went missing in the first place. And some of these leads might help find the child right now. You know what I'm talking about? Let's go. If you'd like, we'd go over some of these topics real quick. Susan.
Yeah, there's been reports that Elizabeth trashed the apartment. Well, I wonder.
Yeah, let me go in order. I'll bring those up real quick. Do you want to talk about that? Let's get right. Okay, that's fine. Okay, go ahead. Let's talk about the apartment.
I wonder because on court documents, Logan was actually responsible for being charged for it.
Right. Now, there could be a lot of reasons for that, though. That could be that he was on the lease or whatever, and he's responsible for those charges. But as far as the trailer goes now, and I'm not 100% sure on this one, but the information that we've got is conflicting. News reports state that Elizabeth Johnson cut up some baby clothes and destroyed a crib. She did that herself. Now, we can't find that in any one of the court documents, and in the court documents itemized everything in there by price tag of what was damaged. To me, it looked like she was trying to destroy everything that belonged to Logan. I mean, it went from the big screen TV to the video game system to whatever. Now, Jody, I think you know a little bit more about that, do you, or don't you? About the apartment, or the trailer.
I just know that a friend that went to help them move said that they saw the playpen and it was destroyed, but
right.
To say who did it or how it happened, that wouldn't be available.
I'm pretty sure Elizabeth did do it, but it seems to me like you've got to look at this something, because I think this is important. If she was trying to destroy stuff from the baby, that's totally different than being angry at a boyfriend. There are women that
well, and to me, it was folded up. It was folded up and it was saved and packed and put in storage. So if something's destroyed, why wouldn't you just throw it in the trash?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
This point.
But so far, we've documented all this, and it is posted, and this is public record. we cannot find these items that were apparently cut up. It looked to me like it was all of Logan's clothes and his video game system and his TV. Unless there's another report we don't know about. So far, we have not found that. Susan, anything on that? Anything else on that one?
There is nothing as far as any type of activity like that, except that one incident.
Okay. Okay, so that's all we have on that topic. Let's get to something real quick that a lot of people are talking about and speculating about. And again, we are not sure about this, but we have been made aware of some photographs that of a man named Gary Hahn and his picture compared to Gabriel Johnson's picture. I'm gonna put that up on the screen right now, so you guys can take a look at that. We have several versions of that. And tell me what you think. Now, me looking at some of these pictures, I would say that Gary is possibly the father. Any other thoughts on that, guys?
What? Thoughts on it?
Looking at this picture right now.
From my heart?
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts from me and my heart? The gleam in their eye matches.
Okay. Let me put another one up, too. There's the
their
first
lips
one.
match, their nose match, their ears match, their eyebrows match, gleam in their eye matches. That's pretty,
Okay, yeah.
pretty
I see,
unusual, I can say. I mean,
I see where you're talking about that.
coincidental.
Now, from what Tammy had told me, that I guess Gabriel had an overbite, Susan?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, and it seems to me like Gary has the same type of overbite. Now, and like I said, I'm not an expert on this one, but I do think there are people that can tell. Now, we have approached some people on this one that are looking into this. As far as there are experts out there that I guess in facial reconstruction and stuff like that, they can kind of tell you, hey, there is a chance this Gary may be the father, or completely not. But if there's no paternity test done, and we know that. I guess we can't. We know that Elizabeth has corresponded with Logan several times, and possibly mentioning that maybe it's not your baby. We also know that that I got to be careful during during a few times during the meetings with one of the times the meeting with Elizabeth Johnson and Tammy Smith. Elizabeth has said you can't put Gary's name on that application because he will basically hurt him. It's a little more than that, but will basically hurt him because of what reason? Why wouldn't that name go on there? I mean, I understand that Tammy Smith did put Craig Cherry's name on that application, and that I guess that was wrong. But we have to look at the circumstances too. Apparently, Elizabeth Johnson thought the baby was in danger, was implying that to Tammy as well. So for whatever reason, but getting back to the point, we need to make sure that Logan's the father. More than likely he is.
To me, it was a secret covered up. Here's the fact, and they were friends, and things happened, and there you have it. And
okay.
To me, she could possibly be protecting. That's why she's not talking. She's protecting Gary.
Okay, well, let me put up a couple pictures here. Here's another one. This picture here. Sorry about the overlapping there. This is with Gary Hahn, Gabriel Johnson, and Logan. Susan made a point. It does look like the baby does have Logan's ears. And again, I'm not an expert, but it is a little suspicious. And I'm not saying that Gabriel is not Logan's son, but I do say without a paternity test. And if you're charging somebody with parental interference, felony counts because of something like this, and you knew that this baby could possibly not be yours, there's something wrong with that too.
But generally, everybody's ears look in that fashion when they have short hair and their ears are exposed. Let's go with the forehead. Let's go with the shape of the face. Let's go with the chin. Let's look at the lips. Gary has a thin lip, Gabriel. The lower lip is sunken in a speck like Gabriel's. The eyes are big and round. The eyebrows, those are definite eyebrows.
Okay.
And definite eyebrow structure. Okay, I've looked at many baby pictures thinking they could possibly be Gabriel, and never gave thought to start looking at adults. My mission when I came on here for Gabriel was to reunite Gabriel with his father. God didn't tell me whether that father would be Logan or not.
Okay. So that said, as far as we know, there's no paternity test. I believe Gary's in the military. Susan, he just recently came back. Do you know the date?
Yeah, he recently came back right around the 13th of December, 12th, 13th.
Okay. Do we know why?
Of December. Yeah, to Arizona.
Okay, but why? Do we know why?
Holiday leave.
Okay. We were trying to rule out this possibility. In ruling out this
And I'm saying holiday leave.
Okay, holiday leave.
I'm saying holiday leave only because I know a bunch of Marines and they're stationed right there in Camp Pendleton the same, and their personal friends, and they all came home December 13th for holiday leave.
Okay, so it's probably unit wide. I've been stationed overseas, and so a lot of times if you're not on red cycle, whatever, they let everybody go, or everybody non-essential personnel can go on leave at that one time, and then you cannot take leave throughout the year. You have to take it during the holiday season. Okay, so that would put him back in. Is he still in the service? Because I thought we had conflicting reports about that now. Any ideas? Do we know?
I believe he still is.
Okay.
Because something that I read indicated to me that he returned back around January 2nd or 3rd. He was returning back to Cali.
Okay.
Back to Camp Pendleton.
Okay.
And I believe I have that document.
Do we know that if he came back, he took a paternity test? Anybody confirm that or not? I don't think we have.
No, we can't confirm that.
Okay, but we can confirm, at least from what we're seeing, that no paternity test was ever issued to find out who the biological father was for Gabriel. Right?
Correct.
Okay.
Right. Correct.
Unless there's one we don't know about, which still could have happened, but we don't know about it. It's not part of public record. We were trying to rule out the chances of Gary being the father. In order to rule that out, Logan has spent some time in jail or prison. Going back to the court documents, we wanted to find out if Logan was in jail during the time of conception. So far, we have not been able to find that information. So what we're guessing is that Logan was not in jail at the time of conception. We had the date, the possible date of conception. What was that?
End of July 1st.
August 1st.
Okay, so around August 1st, plus or minus probably 2 or 3 weeks, correct? If Logan were in jail at that time, unless he's having conjugal visits or whatever, I would think that
there's no conjugal visits in Arizona.
Okay, you would think that somebody would have already looked into this, but sadly, investigating this case a lot, and we found out a lot of things that haven't been looked into. And again, we're not saying that Logan's not the father, but some things we still want to know. Now we know that Logan was in jail. When the baby was born, he was let go, I guess, because of work release, and then he went right back to jail. Correct? Okay. And Logan was arrested, I believe, for breaking and entering.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the rest after that, were they just parole violations? Were there another crime committed? Do we know? I haven't really looked through all the documents, but I mean, there's like 40 of them up there. Do we know if any other?
I haven't had a chance to itemize anything or look at each.
Okay. Okay. So what we were trying to do, and so far we have not been able to confirm or not. I mean, but I'm guessing that Logan probably was not in jail during the time of conception. Now, if he was, then that's a big issue. Personally, the biological father. To
Even
me,
if he wasn't, that could still be an issue. Okay, many girls, if their relationship was on the outs, would be another question to ask. Was their relationship on the outs during that specific time period? Okay, because as we know, they were on again, off again.
Right. Actually, the statements from Elizabeth state that he was in jail on and off, and she also said that we were always running from the cops. Looking at the bench warrants that were issued, he was running from the cops at that time because he didn't turn himself in. And she stated that in she stated a lot of things in her statement that kind of seemed to be a little true, which is a little weird. But so showing those pictures, that's one of the things that we were working on, and there are some people that are able to maybe more experts than we are as far as looking at that. But I do know there are certain defects or I don't want to say defects, but people with characteristics that could put it in a different percentile. Somebody could say, well, the chances would be greater or whatever, but I think that a paternity test could rule all this out, and I don't know why it hasn't been established. I do believe that Tammy's attorney might want to request a paternity test, and I believe that he has the power to do that, considering Tammy's facing felony charges.
If you look at the characteristics of the Caroline, the hair color, it's unbelievable.
Right, it is unbelievable, but we still don't know. We still don't know, because when I first saw that baby and saw Logan, I said that's Logan's baby. But then looking at this, things kind of change a lot, a little bit. So we don't know for sure, but I'm saying there is doubt out there, and in order to prove this, just get a paternity test done. And I do know do know that Gabriel's DNA is out there. There's DNA that's out there. I know they might not want to take that from Tammy, but Tammy Smith does have DNA from Gabriel if they need that. And I'm sure that the family does too. So we talked about that. I think I'm going to show the pictures one more time here. Let me close that out right there. Okay, so there we go. I do see the similarities, and again, it's something that you might want to check out. We talked about.
I see the similarities in which I've told you, the hairline and what have you. You can see the growth of the hair even different, where Gary's goes to the side. Logan's appears that it grows from the center with no part.
Okay.
And goes back.
Okay.
Similar things like that I take notice of. Logan's nose is a lot thinner, longer drawn out. Logan's eyes are more sunken in, droopy-eyed.
Okay. Now we know that
where they're not the big, bright, round eyes.
Now Gary knew Elizabeth, and apparently they went to high school together. Is that correct, Susan?
Yes, they went to high school, and I think they had a relationship.
Okay. And they had a relationship, and they have a lot of messages posted to and from each other on Facebook and MySpace. And there's some other stuff that will be coming out. There's there's a whole bunch of information that will be coming out that no one right now is allowed to talk about, because, well, I don't see a legal reason why, but no one can really talk about it yet. But all that information eventually will have to come out and be made public. So that said, we think that they may be romantically involved, but we really can't prove that. Right?
This is ironic to me, too, as well, because I had asked Logan maybe a month ago about this actual guy, and my relationship. My reason for asking was this similarity that Texas came up or something, or I noticed something on her MySpace and said, do you know who this guy is? And Logan said, yes, he's an old personal friend, and we've already made contact with him and talked to him and things like that. Okay, well, right now my question is, who made contact and what did you ask?
Okay. We do see a photograph with I don't have this actually for the show, but Elizabeth Johnson is with Gary, and this is when she's pregnant. I'm not sure how far along she was, and he's got his arm around her and he's holding a beer. That could be just for a picture shot. That
was in March.
In March. Okay.
And she had April in May.
Okay.
So she's pretty up there. She's at least 7 months.
Okay. And I guess there was speculation saying that this guy was married. Susan, I believe you found, according to the Facebook page, says he's single.
He says he's in a relationship but single.
In a relationship but single, okay. Okay. Anything else on this issue? We're going to go on to the cell phones next. Okay. Apparently, there's been a lot of disposable cell phones out there, and not exactly sure what was the need for them, but there were, I believe, a total of 5 now that we know of. How many? How many cell?
Yeah.
Okay. And apparently, Elizabeth Johnson had one of these cell phones. Actually, a few cell phones, I believe. And during the time that Elizabeth Johnson was staying at the hotel, there were a lot of calls being made. I mean, I'm talking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of calls being made. Any idea, speculation to why so many calls were being made, and were these calls from Logan to Elizabeth? Do we? I mean, and remember, it's just speculation.
That I don't know.
Okay.
That I have no idea.
Okay. When the trailer was okay, when Logan went back to clean out the trailer, okay, I believe he flew back, correct, to clean out the trailer.
Yeah.
Okay, why did he do that?
Yeah.
Why, when there were so many people that he knew that could have done that for him? Why would he stop searching and fly back to get the trailer? To the trailer. I mean, any reason why? Just because he wanted to go do it?
They gave no reason.
Okay. I know we don't have an inventory sheet of what was in the trailer, but there could possibly be some items that maybe weren't taken by the police. Right? Is that a possibility?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And one of those items might be a cell phone with a whole bunch of calls on it. Now, the funny thing is when you make calls, they're always there, and law enforcement have a way to get them all. As long as you have one phone, you know the number that called that number, and pretty much you can they would have everything possible, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So we were wondering where these cell phones were. Were they destroyed? I mean, I don't know, but that is questionable as far as who was talking to Elizabeth, and possibly who else was Logan apparently talking to, or don't we know?
I don't think anybody knows who Logan was talking to. Okay.
There's speculation out there that the baby was for sale since day one. We do know that Elizabeth Johnson apparently went out to sell her eggs. I'm not sure what happened on that one. Does anybody know?
No, I've just heard.
Okay. Apparently, maybe going to Boston selling some eggs or something like that, and then something happening, and maybe not getting all the money. I don't know. Did anybody hear anything about somebody wanting money for Gabriel?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. Susan, have you heard anything like that?
As far as anybody else, no.
Okay. All right, so we covered that. Russian aliases. Now, there's been some rumor that there's some people using Russian aliases. Now, I don't know why somebody would use a Russian alias, but that's just some of the stuff that's out there. Why would you need to have a Russian alias unless you're part of some type of organized crime, Russian mafia? Gangs. Okay.
In a slave country, if you're honest.
Okay, good. Okay, so basically...
Maybe when they said Logan was on the run, they got those, or...
Okay.
It's hard to say.
I don't know. Okay, now we did look into this new PI that's on the case. He has not quit, and that was as of 3/20/2010. He is on the case. Somebody called there, and I believe that's been verified that he's on the case. So we don't know really about the eggs, but I mean, what I'm saying is it kind of shows a pattern that if you're going to sell eggs, and you see where I'm going at this. I mean, it seems to me like not too many people wanted to keep the baby. Not too many people.
Exactly.
Not too many people at all, which is odd because if I were to say to my parents, "Hey, I'm going to give this kid up," they would say, "What?" I mean, I don't think they would allow that to happen. Not that I would give my kids up. Sometimes I might think like that, but no, I'm just joking there. But that's just also something else that's kind of interesting, I guess. The GPS. Logan had a GPS with him, and apparently somebody broke in and stole the GPS. Correct? And that's
yeah,
what
which
that's
I
what
never understood.
that's what was reported
correctly
to
in
the
the
news
means
media.
when there were other things.
Yeah, well, there are other things, and there were people with him at the time that confirmed that that's what happened, but they didn't really look into it any further. But apparently there was some blood on the scene, but I don't think the blood was ever analyzed or whatever. I don't think too many people thought about it.
That's good.
Okay, but I'm just saying, yeah, it is kind of suspicious that all of a sudden the GPS is missing. What's the reasoning for that? I don't know, but apparently the neighborhood that they were in was pretty high crime rate, and people do steal GPSs. But yeah,
why wouldn't they take the other electronics and things?
I don't have any idea, and I did see the reports or the people speculating that as far as where the glass was broken and how it was laid and stuff, it didn't kind of make sense either. Like I said, I don't know. So the question was, then the ring, why don't? Okay, never mind. There's another one. So the GPS, we wanted to know whose blood it was. Apparently, we'll never know the answer to that one. Okay, the ring. News reports state, once again, news reports. And news reports on this case basically come from whoever says something and then it's repeated over and over again. I guess a reporter could be a repeater. I think somebody said that. You have to look where you're getting the information. If you're not getting information from the police department, you always have to take that with a grain of salt. And I don't think the police department's going to literally put out lies. Although I do see that the San Antonio Police Department did have this case from day one pointed toward Jack and Tammy, which is a little weird in itself too. When a lot of things didn't make sense. I mean, we'll go over that in a second. So there was a ring out there, and it was reported to be worth $20,000 to $30,000, a diamond and ruby ring, correct? And
Yeah, correct.
And this ring was supposedly taken off of Elizabeth Johnson at the time of her arrest, okay, and given to the grandfather. And the grandfather has no knowledge of this ring.
Correct.
Okay, not only does the grandfather have no knowledge of this ring, court documents have no knowledge of this ring. As far as we know now, I'm not saying that this is 100% true, but as far as we know, there's no knowledge of this ring. So where did this ring come from? Does anybody have any ideas?
Okay, there's
no record.
Nope, none for you, Susan.
There's some rumors going around that Elizabeth was doing hand modeling job.
Okay. Alrighty. And
So
where do you get a free ring?
This ring was a fake that was used for one of her hand modeling jobs.
I don't know. Now, other rumors are going around that there was an estimate for this ring, which I haven't found any estimate anywhere. That wasn't said right. But, right, has anybody found an estimate?
No.
Okay.
No, I did find a report where one ring was stolen out of California.
Okay.
$25,000 diamond and ruby ring.
Okay, well, that was in the news?
And that was stolen out of a home in April of '08, and it was apparently the only thing stolen from the home.
Okay, so that was a news article. Okay, okay. Where did the information come from about this ring? Where did we get that from? Besides the news people, I mean, where did they get their information? Do we know?
I'm not sure of.
Does anybybody know?
I think it was Logan on his news article.
Okay. So Logan
said
that.
But an interview of Logan.
Okay. So the police failed to impound pretty important evidence that. If you have this expensive ring around your finger, we all kind of know that the Underground Adoption Agency, doesn't just take Visa and MasterCard. Okay. So, are you telling me that the police were that naive not to just to take her stuff off and just give it away? I mean, maybe they did. I don't know. I'm just saying that. So where is this ring? And that's a pretty important piece of evidence because you might not be able to track its owner, but you could say, okay, well, does this size fit Elizabeth? There's probably a few things you could do. And if there was an expensive diamond in there might be some way of tracing it. Now, if there was an appraisal slip, that could tell a whole bunch of stuff, including where it was appraised at. But so no ring, no GPS, right? Well, at least we don't see it.
Right.
Okay. So we asked about the paternity test. There are a whole bunch of court documents that that are out there. I'm not gonna go over them all. But I think what we needed help for right now, because we haven't been able to find it, it was Logan in jail when possibly Gabriel was conceived. Not when he was born. We know that he was in jail when the baby was born, but he was let out. And it sucks that those are the pictures that you see of Logan and the baby. So I think that's covered. I think we basically covered what we want. And again, it's really frustrating not to be able to say a lot of things that we know we've all been talking about, and we know because we just really cannot say that at this point. But we are speculating on a lot of things that I think that probably need to be looked into. And again, this is all just theory, and we're just talking. But it seems to me like you question anything, and you can't talk about that. Because you should be able to talk about everything, like the reward fund. I don't know how much money went in there, Jody, and I know you've been working with that. What do you know about as far as how much money has been raised as far as that maybe go into the reward fund, or is there nothing, or what do you know?
We don't know how much money has been raised. I was trying to get the family to, put it on there so that it would help to raise awareness and things, and, that the girls, this has been a battle.
Okay.
Actually.
Okay, what did they tell you
and
about?
Trying to deal with things to creating awareness. Well, I've been told from one family member that they don't have any idea how much it is or how much there might be, and they have put in a phone call to the other family member that's controlling it, and the other family member hasn't got back to them, and this and that, and this and that, and it's just been a big, complete circle.
Okay.
Then when the family member did find out, she didn't elaborate on anything more, just I said, good, can we maybe get something posted so that we can get everybody back on board and creating awareness so that this is not a obstacle. Once again, I have to say this is the one thing that I have noticed and has been just totally unreal is creating awareness has been nothing but obstacle after obstacle, because the family says, well, the family didn't okay this didn't happen, this, that. And I can't help but think how many people with missing children would love to have 12,000 people on board and pushing out and creating awareness for them each and every day.
Right.
Why their child was gone. To me, this is a red flag for some reason. I've had many red flags thrown at me, as you've known through this.
Well, weren't a lot of these fundraising
for the sake of Gabriel?
Weren't a lot of this fundraising stuff? This was your idea on a lot of things, weren't they? As far as different ways to raise money, or not?
Well, for online awareness and things like that, it was many of us. This idea,
Okay.
Nobody, I can't lay that was one person or to just myself.
Right. Okay.
Many of us collaborated with ideas and things like that and came up with different speculation things, and it was almost then that it became that we had the online people and we had the offline people.
Okay.
The ones that created awareness and did things and fundraisers and stuff there in town or wherever have you. And then we had the ones that said, okay, well, we don't live there. We can create awareness by emails, by things of that nature, online to help out, to donate, to do different things. And it became a big circus. And it still goes back to where the family didn't want to create answers. You need things when you're doing that, like letters, from a family member saying, we authorized this, or, please help our family and this wonderful group or what have you that's trying to assist us.
Is this a 501(c)?
And that didn't.
501(c)? Is this a 501(c), or it wasn't set up like that? Because I had seen when they initially set up, they wanted to do it right. They said, we want to do it right and get everything set up. So is this basically a nonprofit?
No.
Okay. Were there any?
Not nonprofit yet.
Okay.
I can't answer honestly, I mean, I'm told 1 week that they're working on it, then next week it's by next week, and then the next week there's no think about it.
Okay. Are there any like high donors? Like
There's a complete mess.
Right.
As far as I'm concerned, there were people that were saying we were doing the trust fund that was in S to help Logan Young, and part of it was to go towards raising the rewards fund.
Okay.
That's never been established.
The first thing it said was reward fund, and then helping Logan across this journey across the country.
Yeah, and then this week it came up as it's the money that's being donated and what have you, just to help Logan know.
Okay.
There is no rate the rewards fund in place as a fund.
Is there a reason why they keep bringing up the Crime Stoppers reward fund? I'm saying it's maxed out at $5,000. Is there a reason why they're kind of implying that reward money went to Crime Stoppers? Because it didn't. I mean, we all know that Crime Stoppers has a set amount of money.
We all know that.
Okay.
We all know that.
So why keep bringing it? Okay.
That, you know, we have women that are involved in this that are very, you know, aware of how to do fundraisers and create awareness and all of these things. You know, you hear about them, you see about them. They have their jobs are to establish them, set them up, to do things like that, so they know how the program works.
Okay. Were there?
So this is when I had said last week, I said, well, you don't have to disclose how much is in there or who donated. I said, you know what? What to create this method? Maybe you can just put the face sheet up of the bank statement. You know, simply scan that in. Here's what we have to this point, and go from there. You know.
Now you asked him that. What was the reply on that?
Okay.
What was the reply on that one?
A goal.
Okay, when you asked about scanning that, did you get a reply back on that?
Yes. I got a reply of, no, we're not going to do that. We've been advised that it's not in our best interest.
Okay.
That is not something we're required to do.
Okay. Were there any, you know, of any personal high donors that would donate, you know, let's say, you know, $500 to $1,000 a day or anything like that? Was there anybody out there that we know of that were doing that as well?
No, because we could not even get to the point to get the awareness letters out, because in order for us to contact corporations and request donations, as you know, we have to have a tax ID number for a nonprofit organization,
yes,
or
of course
they're not going to just say, here, we're going to give you this amount of money.
Most of the people visit online. What was up with the PayPal button? I mean, that could have really helped them. It still could help. I mean, because people are going to donate online. That's where they're coming from. Just to say to go to Bank of America,
exactly.
And I mean, how many people are going to go to Bank of America and do that? I mean, you could really raise a lot more money if you were to put up a PayPal button. And if you have a nonprofit,
a lot of us took the time to contact Bank of America. I know I took the time because I am a Bank of America customer.
Yes.
And I personally went to mine and said, can you help me out? A lot of people are trying to donate to a trust fund that's through your bank, and they're international or any of this thing, and they have a totally different bank or a currency difference or any of those types of things. How would you go about that? They were more than happy to take and give me the information, the phone numbers, and the way that they would be able to call and things of what they would need in order to do that by phone or by computer. We got that set up, you know, and so that information could go out.
Okay.
We had started the $5 Friday thing, and I'm not sure how that developed or it didn't develop. You know, people were doing it, they said, and now whether somebody does it or they don't do it, I don't know. As I said, I have no idea how much was there, how much wasn't there, and I'm not going to vouch or say anything for them.
Okay.
That's how I feel.
As far as the donors did have a lot of questions, and they were posed on the Facebook page. Is what have I seen that hundreds and hundreds of posts have been deleted, just completely deleted. I mean, this is a valid question, in that the people that are helping you so much, you just can't say, oh, we we don't know. So where is the money going? Who's controlling the money?
I believe it's an aunt that lives in Prescott.
Okay. So Logan's not in charge.
There was another time when people were asked to send gift cards,
right?
Per se, because that's what to help contribute to gas, food, anything needed. I have no idea how much or what of those were actually received. A person had came on and said that they had heard that Logan was eating, corn dogs from gas stations and stuff like that. Well, in general, that's what a 25-year-old kid does to begin with.
Right.
We all have teenagers, a lot of us, and we know that that's how they do. So that isn't kind of too unusual and stuff, but to this person it seemed to be an issue, and that's what they started saying, hey, maybe we should send this so they could go get a good meal and stuff like that. The point being is nobody wanted to not assist, to not help, to not be concerned, to not care. But when you're being concerned and you're caring and you're getting no answers, no response, you're actually, when you ask a question, you're afraid, getting to the point you're afraid to even ask the question or to vent what you might think or you feel. You're getting almost popped upside the head for doing it. Then that is what created havoc, which created posts, like you had said, which got deleted. And I can understand from both sides of the fence. The family has a thing where they're seeking their missing child. The people that are supporting them are, willing to give of their hearts. I've seen good people give of their hearts. I've seen good people say, I didn't have much, I only had $10, but I donated it. Okay, so the good, loving people are there too. But, in any circumstance, you have to have a 50-50. The family has to give 50% and understand you're asking people to help you look for your missing child and to create awareness of your missing child. When they ask the question, you don't just blow them off. That is very bad for, personal rapport on anything. If it's a one-on-one or if it's on a group and a family.
Okay, well, what if
way you look at it.
What if the family's doing everything that they can, but Logan's in charge, and if everything has to go through Logan, then they really don't know. Maybe they really don't know.
Yes, that is a thing.
Okay.
That is a factor that, everything has gone through Logan personally.
Okay.
And, if the question's asked or this or that, or in order to do something, Logan does have to approve everything. Whether that you can ask, and many of the people I know that were trying to create awareness were frustrated. This is weighing on their emotions. Gabriel's missing. They were frustrated with trying to have questions asked and things and getting answers to the questions and got no response, back to answer it and just say forgotten.
Well, did Logan answer any of these questions on the Facebook?
It's a shame. It's a very sad shame.
What about Logan, though? Did he participate in the Facebook group?
No.
Well,
Not very much. No.
Okay. All right.
I've only seen just a few times, once in a while, and I think somebody said the night that there was some rampaging posting recently that he had came on then. I wasn't there. My computer's on, but that doesn't mean I'm there. And I try at each and angle that I can. I've tried to be there to help in any way I can and to be supportive,
Were you ever threatened with a lawsuit? Did anybody ever threaten you with a lawsuit? I don't believe you.
No, okay. I found this, that I would hear from this side of the family or that side of the family that I was interfering, or I did this, or I did that, and I did this, and I did that. And I really am a respectful woman that I thought I am not going to go at Logan with every little petty detail. My goodness, This is ridiculous. This is worse than a junior high school thing. Okay. And the few times I said, do you have a problem with me to him if I would happen to see him online for a minute, his response every time was, no, thank you for everything you do for me. You know, you've been a very big help. Okay, so I'm not sure if the problem lies with Logan or it lies in the middle with the rest of the crowd. I think we got too many cooks in the kitchen.
Right. There were a lot of people, I believe, that were qualified to help.
And nobody has the recipe.
Okay. And it just goes along. It just seems like the PI and stuff. Logan seems to want total control over this. And when you have to realize that Logan, I believe, is 24 years old. 24, 25?
25, I think.
Okay. J.J. Arms is 3 times your age and has been doing this before you were born. And then to not only get rid of him, okay, but then publicly post that, you know, this person's got my property, which didn't make any sense to begin with. J.J. Arms, I talked with him. He says that Logan's got his own property, which, okay, it's childish to begin with, but it seems like that once somebody starts getting too close, and I believe we've all mentioned this, you get too close, then all of a sudden you're thrown away, and not only just thrown away, you're discredited and disrespected and everything else. I mean that hasn't happened in any other case that I personally know of.
No, and I took notice. I mean, I take notice of different things part too. Okay, the letter came up that night. Well, I know for a fact that hours before that, many hours before that, JJ, I give him, because he's a very respectful man, did contact me and tell me right then and there he was out of the case and the reason why and things, which I won't go into because to me that's a confidentiality thing. And I've always said that, and I've been asked by a million, and I say, no,
I'm pretty sure, though,
this
information's going to come to light, though, eventually.
And
go ahead.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
Yes, it will. God always allows the truth to come out. And so then when that letter came out, and my first thought on the letter was, this is from a high-profile attorney, because to me this looks like a letter written by somebody in high school.
Okay.
It had no professionalism to it. It had no nothing. So to me, this raised a red flag with me in thinking, Logan is a 25-year-old man. Logan is being allowed to make these decisions. I have children Logan's age, okay? So I know it from the mom aspect where, okay, I pray to God that he didn't get himself hooked in with somebody that is another person in this world that's just out there in left field. Okay. You know, they said high profile. I've ran this guy every way that can be ran. I've found nothing.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Unless you have anything else to say.
You know, this man said about media horror or all this and that. JD never wanted to be in the media, so this guy didn't know what he was talking about. Yeah,
well, I think that actions probably speak a lot louder than words, and trust me, and just speaking with you, and I know from the beginning, and this is how we, you know, when we work these cases, we get along with everybody. We had our own, well, disagreements, and I realize that, but we're here talking, okay? I mean, I personally didn't say anything about you, but I'm not naive. I know what goes on, but yet I'm still here talking with you, and I consider you a friend, okay? And we're working this together.
Exactly.
Okay? We're above this. It seems to me
and
that it's too personal.
Like nobody should have a problem when it comes to a child missing. Okay, yep. There are many children missing in this world. Okay, a family should not have a problem when they have the benefit that I don't see, you know, a lot of going on behind other missing children, and it's really a sad note. It really makes you wonder. I've sat many nights and thought, you know, why am I here to put up with this? My heart could easily be used over a missing child page, or to help with this family if need be. And things, and I could tell just by the way those people are, they would greatly appreciate it.
Oh, without a doubt.
You know, so
I know, literally dozens of people.
You know, I am here for Gabriel, and I have a lot of things. I've seen a lot. I've learned a lot in this, and I will say this: God is going to show us to the truth.
I believe that.
Amen.
And I might not be Christian, but just because I'm not a Christian, you don't, well, basically, how dare you make fun of my own religion, okay? I mean, I wouldn't do that to anybody else.
Exactly.
The thing is, I think that this is getting way too personal. Susan and myself and Deborah have been ridiculed and made fun of and all kinds of things, horrible things. Gabriel Scott Johnson is case number 841. Okay, so do the math on that. We're going to keep going, and we're not going to stop. Okay, and we are used to all this stuff, but yet we keep going on. When somebody asks a legitimate question to the family,
I agree.
a legitimate question to the family that they've supported and loved, and to be disrespected like that, that's intolerable. I'm sorry, but it's intolerable. And it might not be the family. This could be just coming from Logan. This might be, okay, Logan's in charge of the money, and then we have to listen to what he says, and everything goes through him. That's not the way it should work. Logan is a suspect. He may not be on the books.
I think the motto, I don't think that's the issue. I think from what I've been told, or what I've been told every time is, it's Logan's child. So therefore, he makes the decisions and what have you.
Okay.
Whatever he feels is best for him to do for his child.
Okay.
So whether it's Logan's child,
the child he wanted to pay for the abortion and was never there in the first place. Okay. I mean, I'm really sorry when it comes to this, but I don't know Elizabeth Johnson. I don't know really any of these people. But I'm just going about what I see and what I read and what I've heard, and even by the pictures. Why is it that Tammy and Jack Smith have more pictures than anybody else? Okay, and when the people that really wanted,
and to me, I look at, if I said to somebody, and I said this a few times to my very good friends, and I said point blank, if this is what poor Elizabeth had to go through with this whole situation, no wonder she did what she did.
Right. Yeah.
Because this is insane. I have never seen such a thing. I have never seen people that, they don't think that they're disrespecting anybody, or anything this and that. See, that's just not right. They are. They are. There would be no way that I would, no matter how I felt, about the situation with JJ or what have you, I would have said, allowed somebody to talk that way towards him or whatever, to a man of generosity that gave of his heart. You just don't do that. That's like fighting the hand that feeds you. You don't do that, and you don't burn bridges, especially when your child is missing.
Right.
That is not a good thing to do.
There is a definite difference between J.J. Arms and the bounty hunter. What's his name? Leonard Padilla. Definite difference. But, okay, if anybody followed the Kaylee Anthony case, you'll know what I'm talking about. But Leonard never came in to say that he didn't want the media. Matter of fact, he said he wanted the media attention. J.J. Arms didn't have to have this case. He remained silent. He remained patient for weeks, waiting for Logan's permission or whatever. And it seems to me that when all of a sudden investigation turns on somebody else, you get relieved of duty. I mean, why does Logan need an attorney? I don't get. And how did that get paid for?
I was told pro bono, and I was told to protect him, that he needs protection.
Well, from what I know, everything is pro bono in this case. Is what in any missing case, generally they are. And that's another thing. You don't need to spend money on posters and stuff. All you have to do is have the right contacts. Staples, Office Max, FedEx, Home Depot, Kinko's, all those places will print flyers for you.
I didn't rely on none of those. I relied on
but no one listens to this. Why spend money?
Sisters.
Why spend money when you don't have to? They will do it. You just need to talk to the right people.
Exactly.
Missing flyers. There's a whole controversy on this. We need to get the missing flyer out right away, and that should be the only one. And to keep it simple, you only put law enforcement contact information on there. And it's become, and we said this from day one, it's too confusing. And then, no less, you put all these missing posters, and then all of a sudden the people on the poster leave. Oh, no, this is ridiculous. We've done this.
I was accused of running the tip line, that I was trying to monopolize it so much because I was accused of running the tip line. No, to me, running the tip line was a clear thing, an easy click for me in my day, as I was doing 1,000 other things. I do have a normal life as well.
Susan.
And children and things of that sort. And so for me to grab the link for the tip line and put it in there was no problem. The reason the tip line was set up, I think, was a great thing for JJ, from JJ's view. They just set those
JJ's
up
already
for
got a tip line,
reasons.
He already has it.
You can speak English or Spanish.
Right.
Yeah. Two, if you don't have a phone and you go to a local library and want to leave a tip, you can get to a computer and leave a tip.
Sure.
If you don't want anybody to know where it came from, you can leave a tip.
Okay. One thing to take note of, if you visit J.J. Arm's website right now, the picture and tip line is still open for Gabriel, so that might want to tell you guys something too.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. He's a man of heart. He knows that I came into this from my heart. He knows that I contacted him from his heart, and I know J.J. helped out of his heart.
Right. There is nothing that J.J. could have done.
And people want to trash that. Those same people have to answer to God at some point in their life.
There's nothing he could have done to hurt this case. It's all help. Everything is help. No matter what it is, it's help. No matter who it's coming from or whatever, it's help. But
exactly. Another thing, too, with the trust fund is it was reported that, you know, I had heard at the first report that San Antonio, this was mentioned in a news media thing when he was coming to San Antonio, that the San Antonio Police Department was paying for the search party stay, why they were there, so that was calm. Okay, and then another news station said that they had actually furnished him with a car for food and all of these things.
Okay.
So what is fact, what is fiction, I don't know. And to get an actual answer straight is another, I don't know. I'll have to ask and get back, and I don't know.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
And so I personally have separated myself from the family, and in essence, and
there shouldn't be a separation. Though. It doesn't matter what. I'm talking to you. Or you were talking. There shouldn't be a separation. It doesn't matter what's.
No, they shouldn't.
And another thing about that is that when this case first happened, what we generally do in a lot of missing person cases that need help, Deborah was kind enough to actually purchase a website, which she did for the family. Susan actually was in contact with the family to ask what they wanted. I designed the website and did some graphics for them. Okay, Susan actually was talking with them and said, well, you know, what do you want for pictures with that little clacker and stuff? We did that for them. We would have been happy to turn over the entire website to them and have them run it. FindGabriel.com. Short, sweet, and simple. But yet no one got back. No one posted anything. Matter of fact, the family never posted anything. Logan never posted anything. We didn't want the traffic. Okay, we have hundreds of sites. Okay, we did that for them, and we said, look, we paid for it, it's yours. You know, we'll host it free, everything's free, and we do this for a lot of different. This is just not this case, but yet nothing ever happened. Matter of fact, Tammy and Jack Smith are the only persons really related to the case that posted, and they got harassed for it. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and Susan, I know you can vouch for that, right, Susan?
It's a catch-22. It's a catch-22, you know, and I kind of. It was a big downfall to me when I seen that we had got so many people on board and started creating so much awareness and things, and then I don't know all the answers to the whole MySpace ordeal, but the way that I put it is a 2x4 was thrown in there intentionally by a family member.
Okay,
and that just did it. And then I tried 2 or 3 times to bring it back up, and every time I go to bring it back up, because I'm asked, you know, if we can get it going back up and things, and I think everything's good. Okay, we've overcome this hurdle, and there's another 2x4. So, to me, if the family wants to create awareness, then the family's going to have to get in there and do it.
Exactly. Thank you very much, Susan. Hi, Susan. I know you've done a lot. There's a lot of things. When you said the word answers, that's what we're trying to do. Actually, that's what Susan's trying to do as well. We have a network of people that are actually involved in this case that we are talking to on a daily basis. And there is a lot of people out there that we're talking to that are involved in this case, and there's a lot of questions being raised. And these people are experts in their fields, too. And I think very soon, a lot of this information is going to come out there. You know, like it or not, then I guess everybody's going to jump on the bandwagon, which is wrong too, because we're looking for Gabriel. No one's ejected themselves into this case. I can tell you that. And when people say, I mean, like I said, we do this all the time. We've never had to do a broadcast like this before, and I feel kind of embarrassed that we have to do it. And actually, you know, I feel a little guilty that we have to do it because I think it's wrong saying some of the things that we're saying, but when answers aren't provided, you have to speculate and you have to wonder, okay, what happened with Gabriel? There's a lot of theories out there. You know, going by the dreams, I could go over that too, but I want to have Gail on there. All my stuff is posted; it's all public. But I do have my own theories, and from what I've seen so far, that Logan and J.J. Arms are going to find this baby, and alive. Okay, there's been psychics that go on TV and post some stuff, tell the family some other horrible news or whatever. And you know, I don't know anything about Alison DeBose, but I didn't think she was of any help. I hate to say that, but I know Gail St. John is a lot of help. Gail, are you still there? I know she's probably muted and probably sleeping right now. I feel really
I'm
bad.
Here.
Okay.
I'm here. I just
Hi, Gail.
because I had some noise here.
Okay, and I think with the people listening to this point, most people that were offended by this show are probably already turned it off. So I guess that's well, I don't think it's a good thing or bad thing. Okay, Gail, we've worked this case. Now you've had some conflicting opinions and or feelings about what may happen to Gabriel. So can you just, I guess, bring everybody up to speed on what you personally have done so far on this case, and what maybe?
Well, I'd gone to the maps, Brian, and we talked before about I felt something. We talked about a park, but we also talked to a set of things that led me to Austin area as well. But also talked about things that led me back to Arizona, which confused me a little. Why?
Okay.
Me back, straight back to, it seems like, where this whole mess started. So
I firmly believe that Tempe, Arizona has got something to do with this, and that's from that Walmart. And I don't know why yet. But
right, and it's like we're piecing together. Even me as a psychic, people always say, "Well, why isn't it just perfect?" Well, no, this is an exact science. I'm piecing it together too. I'm piecing together what you said and got. Now I'm piecing together what I've gotten. Just basically like we did the Kaylee Anthony case, and
yes.
Eventually you turn something up.
And real quick, if anybody's not seen that Kaylee Anthony video, please go to Gail's website. I have a graphic for you, Gail. I was going to put that up for you too, real quick, and that's got her website on there, right there. It's www.psychicgail.com. That blind drive video is there for Kaylee Anthony. Gail's probably drove more miles in this case than anybody else connected to the Kaylee Anthony case, and she did this out of donations, and she did this out of her own pocket. And come to find out that the video that you're going to see, if you haven't seen, they found Kaylee Anthony. They were right there. You can see the emotions. You can see where they stop. Unfortunately, they were not able to get in there. But if you see the video, the proof is in the video, and I urge everybody to listen to that. Go ahead, Gail.
Brian, I really think that one of the most important things that I have to really say this is still doing the blind drive. On the case, I can't say for sure it's going to take it because when you get to a location, feelings are stronger, lead you in that direction. And the best thing I can do is what I did with Kaylee Anthony, and I can try to explain this best I can. When I started at the house where Casey Anthony was with Kaylee, I was able to pick up the vibration of the two. What I did is drove basically until there was, figuring out that the vibration changed, which meant it was Casey's vibration that changed and Kaylee was not there. When people do things or things happen, that also, the vibration changes enough that you can pick up the emotions and other things that are going on with it, or when another person's no longer with them and they're alone. So in this case, I would be tracing Elizabeth until she's alone. When she's alone, that tells me what went on and where it went on.
Okay. And
because the rest of the time you're tracing Gabriel with Elizabeth, so the two vibrations would be there. Which your vibration that a person gives off is like a DNA.
Okay.
You can leave residual vibrations for almost up to 5 years.
Okay,
sort of like cell phone.
Okay, so do you have anything new since our last broadcast with you that I should take notes on? Or basically, I think you've pretty much summed it up.
One
You
thing
probably,
I just,
go ahead.
you know, that's bothering me is the wanting to check that park area out and go back, cutting through Austin and going back to Arizona.
Okay.
I really just keep seeing like a map out in front of me constantly. And it's kind of what I saw on the Anthony case as well, and a couple of the other cases that I had worked on and solved, and which tells me I'm on to something, and getting there is the next step.
Okay. Now I know we've talked about this in the last broadcast. You need to get down to Texas.
Correct.
And possibly Arizona, but you're going to start in Texas, I believe, right from the last place that supposedly Gabriel Johnson was, which was in the hotel. Correct?
Right.
Okay. We discussed this. You need to get donations. Apparently, have you got any donations since?
I've gotten none.
Okay. So what we're asking is that, and I hate to say the donation word, but Gail legitimately needs to get donations to get down there, and she does it cheaply. She stays with friends and whatever. I think, how much do you need to get down there? And possibly, if we can raise this, we need to do it.
If I can get a car and everything, we could probably get by on $500 or $600 if I can get a car from someone down there who's willing to let us do that or drive us around.
Okay. So that said, if anybody wants to help Gail St. John get down there, please let her know. Go to her website. Call her. Can they call you?
Yes, they can. I actually have a phone number. They can call me at 419.
Okay.
491-7283.
491. Okay, 419. 491. Okay. 7283. And that said, now Gail has been doing this for a long time. She's been on numerous TV shows. She's been numerous interviews, including Larry King. And not too many psychics can say that. She is a close friend with Nancy Grace. Nancy Grace had her on the show on many nights. We'll probably have her on again. If anybody wants to, please help her get down there. Please do that by going to her website and donating there. If you're with the media, I would imagine that you would give them exclusive rights to anything that you do down there. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's never a problem.
And if you do donate, you are helping out Gail, and she does appreciate all that. She does contact everybody back, and you've remained friends with a lot of people that you've worked with. So.
Oh yes, I mean, Susan included, and she does so much work for us. There's so many people we've met through cases and even donations, and who now help us and care about missing persons and help work on these things. Everyone that does that, for us and others, we can't thank them enough.
Right. Now, the Gail's a psychic that actually gets her hands dirty. She goes to these places that she sees. She literally goes there, and she has found people. If you doubt that, visit her website. Visit some of the reports. I mean, I believe Larry King interviewed you about somebody that you had located, and I believe they said that you actually saved a life at that point too. Was that the same case? Or was that somebody else?
That was in Tempe, Arizona. That
was in Arizona. So, if you have the means, please help out Gail, and it could be whatever. If you have airline miles or anything, she's willing to take anything possible to get her down there. It's sad that you're not like some of these psychics that have a lot of money that can do this, but your heart's in the right place, and I've seen that from you. I've known you for a long, long time, and we are really close friends. At least I think we are, right?
I hope so.
Okay. But and we've been through a lot of stuff, and I do know that when you say the word donations and psychics, it never goes together. But until Gail can afford this on her own, and she still pays for a lot of this stuff herself. She has. It's the only avenue that she has to get down there, and I can tell you that the Gail is very, very accurate, and I believe that she will definitely help find Gabriel. You might be able to pick up something right away and say, "Oh, wait a second, Brian. Get me out of here. Go to whatever.
Right.
Be it Prescott. Be it Tempe. Wherever you think."
Well, and then if I can make it down there, we'll be doing a daily update like we did on the Anthony case. And there was times
I'm
when I
willing
called
to do
you
that,
and said, Brian, I'm going another direction. Things are different.
I have a family, and you know, I will do updates with you, but they can't be like the Kelly case because I've already have to stop on
Well,
this
yeah,
case.
once a day.
Yeah, because this case is. There are so many other ones. I have 3 to add tonight. This is really time consuming. I hate that it is, and I think it's because of all the drama. That's probably the only reason.
Right.
But and the drama is. I mean, well, never mind. But thank you very much, Gail. Get some sleep. Anything else you want to add?
That's it.
Okay. And Gail's website again is www.psychicgail.com. And if you wish to donate, there's another thing that we had talked about. Forgot all about that. What if, let's say, somebody were to donate a certain amount, you could give them, let's say, a free 30-minute phone reading? How about something like that? So they actually get something for their money.
Right. Yes.
Other than you working your butt off, but okay. So what about, let's say, what would be, let's say you'd have to donate whatever you would give a reading?
I mean, if they're willing to donate $200, I'll give them a free 30-minute reading.
Okay. So there you have it. You could help get Gail down there, and she'll use the money to go down there, and you will also get a free 30-minute reading, and that would be over the phone, right? Or Skype.
Phone or Skype, either
Or
one.
I guess or in person if they're in the area, right?
Right. Oh, absolutely. If they're in the area,
Okay.
that's fine too. I'll do it in person.
On this case, it's a little bit different. In the Kaylee Anthony case, we were definitely searching for a dead body, and that's a lot different when it comes to help. Now, as far as when you're down there, I don't think you're going to need any help for the blind drive. Correct? Other
Only
than
a vehicle.
only vehicle. Okay, but if this were to take you, if you were to get that Gabriel is deceased, then you might find an area. Then you might need people helping search. Correct?
Correct.
Okay, you have a case coordinator and a search coordinator already, correct?
Yes.
Okay, now
Yes.
okay, so but that won't happen until you get down there. So I think it's important that Gail probably does get down there and see what she can pick up. I mean, it can't hurt, and I think it's a worthwhile cause to do. So psychicgail.com. Thank you, Gail.
You're welcome, Brian.
Okay, well, we're going long. Hey, Susan.
Yes, sir.
We talked about some stuff. Do you want to throw out some theories here? I have, and this is not going by my dreams now, going by my dreams, like I said, as far as Logan and J.J. Arms, but I do believe there's some type of Mexican Mafia connection, and specifically there is something called the New Mexico Mafia that I posted on there. There's a dream about. I was going to post that. Actually, I can show it on the video. Not on the video, on the screen, and that would be this right here. This is from 3/16/2010. I drew this, and I thought it was on a piece of paper. I thought it was written on some type of notebook or something like that. And it turns out that I believe this symbol right here is the Mexican Mafia, and people have that. It may possibly be a tattoo, but according to the dream drawing, it was on a piece of paper, like somebody had written it like on a piece of paper or a wall or something like that. So looking at that, and the little item on the bottom is what I had found on that. It's not exactly a match, but I'm pretty sure MM stands for the Mexican Mafia, and that's just going by my dreams. Now, if I were to guess or a theory of what may have happened to Gabriel, it could possibly mean, let's say that, remember this is just a theory, that Elizabeth Johnson and maybe a family member or somebody else was involved in this since day one. Maybe they were watching the Kaylee Anthony case and realized what kind of revenue something like this would generate, to include movie and book deals, which I believe are already in the works, which I don't understand. It's not, the case isn't closed yet. And they knew this, and they knew all the money that they were getting for photos. I mean, look at the money for photos that were given to George and Cindy Anthony. I believe $100,000, even more than that. Just one other note that the pictures that we given in this case, a lot of them were by Jack and Tammy Smith, who said they don't want a dime for anything. And even when they went on national TV to include Nancy Grace, they would. I don't know if you know this, but when Nancy Grace picks you up, you get a limo. Gail, you still with me? Maybe she's gone. Gail will tell you they send a limo. They didn't.
Yeah,
want...
no, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, I was going to say that they send a limo to pick you up.
Yes, they do.
And they didn't want anything to do with that. They have said since day one they don't want a dime off of anything. So if that means anything to anybody, I don't know. But I mean, you see that one person's giving all the money, and well, so anyways, back to the theory. Let's just say that this was set up from day one. That we're trying to get rid of this baby, we're trying to sell this baby, and they're talking with a lot of different people. and then somebody gave them some other ideas, and maybe something went wrong or whatever. So then you give Jack and Tammy Smith a call again, saying, "Hey, you want this baby?" And something happens, which I'm not exactly sure. But let's just say that Elizabeth was told, don't say anything until they find the baby. Just keep your mouth shut. Don't say anything until they find the baby. And that anonymous tip would come in and say, look, the baby's this place. I see somebody here. There's lots of ways you can taste. If somebody had that baby, you could put the baby in a vehicle or whatever. Somebody could call 911, and no one would ever be the wiser who had that baby. And then possibly if the baby is found, Elizabeth Johnson would be out of jail. I mean, her story might check out. I mean, the only thing that I believe she said so far is that she left the baby with a total stranger, and that would kind of play into some type of that theory. If that were the case, then I would be getting all the money I could, doing whatever, making sure that people knew that this baby was missing. Put the blame on somebody else. From day one, we know for a fact that Tempe, Arizona, or not Tempe, Tempe, correct? Who's the police department? Tempe
Yeah.
police. Everything was pointed toward the landfill and to Tammy and Jack Smith. Logan himself
No,
made.
Brian. No, Brian. That was
San Antonio. San Antonio. Made sure that Tammy and Jackie Smith, Tammy and Jack Smith were the #1 suspects, and everything should be pointed toward them. The police believe this, totally believe this, and from the interrogations that were probably done with Elizabeth Johnson, they probably lied and said all kinds of terrible things about Tammy to get a confession, but yet nothing like that happened. It seems to me like the entire investigation was directed toward Tammy and Jack Smith in the landfill, and everybody else in between kind of never got looked at. Information just get pushed away until all that information started piling up. So maybe thousands and thousands of pages of information that really, pushing from one police department to another, never really got noticed until maybe a couple weeks ago. I don't know. I'm just saying if that's the case, then Gabriel would be alive, and then somebody soon, before getting caught, might say, okay, let's whoever has the baby, let's put the baby somewhere, and somebody call in a 911 tip. There's a baby here. Everybody's a hero except for Jack and Tammy Smith, who are still looked at in the way that they are. Susan, what's your theory?
Theory?
Yeah.
Baby's gonna be put in safe haven, and obviously baby's.
Okay, safe haven's hard to do. First of all, safe haven in that state, I believe, is only 5 days. Okay.
No,
5 days old.
I mean put somewhere safe. Fire station, hospital.
But then you'd be seen. Somebody would see you. If you were to put a baby in a remote location and then have call in on, let's say, a disposable phone or whatever, call in and say there's a baby in a car here or on wherever, it doesn't matter where. If that baby would be found, and really there's nothing would go further unless there was some type of video or something. So if I took the baby and I wanted the baby to be found, I would take the baby to some type of remote location and then call in a tip. Not call in a tip, call 911 and say there's a baby here. And who would be the wiser? Right?
True.
And then if somebody said to Elizabeth, keep your mouth shut until you're free, that would work, wouldn't it? I don't know. I mean, Elizabeth could have killed the baby. I just hope to God not. Okay? And in anything, it doesn't matter what happened. If Gabriel's safe, that's really all that matters. And that's when we stop. So that's when we stop working on the case. The rest of it, we'll deal. Jody, are you still there? Okay, I don't think Jody's with us, but I wanted to have Jody Leon with us again tonight, and then I wanted to thank Gail St. John. Thank you, Susan. Anything else we need to add tonight? I know this is way too long and way too boring.
No, I don't have anything else, Brian.
Okay. That's all I have. Again, this was definitely, it wasn't really a show. This is a discussion. Remember, everything we said is just theory based. And we're not personally trying to offend anybody. We are really trying to look into the case. So I know it might not sound like that. I have a picture here. I guess I don't. Anyways, Aji Desir is still missing. He went missing from Immokalee, Florida. He's been missing for over a year now. Please go to findaji.com for information on how you can help. We don't need money. We do need to get his picture out there. Get his picture however you can do it. There's a PDF there you can print. There's a missing poster. Just like you're doing in this case, please do that for Ashi this year, because he's definitely not getting the attention he deserves. So that said, thank you guys, and have a good night. Thanks, Susan. Oh, and Deborah's out on the road. She's selling mops. She'll be back hopefully tomorrow. And Susan, you'll be with us still, right?
Yes, I will.
Okay. Is there anything real quick? Is there anything else that we missed on this? Because we're not doing any more shows on this until stuff comes out. Is there anything else that we want to put out that we missed or?
No.
Okay.
Oh.
Thank you.